Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 30th episode of my Rails of Industry Minecraft series. In today's episode, I am going to automatically create some resources using the mod Actually Additions and using a little bit of help from some minecarts, so let's get started. The first thing that I want to do today is I want to build an atomic reconstructor, so let's get that out of the way. It is a fairly simple machine. The iron casing is the only slightly complicated part here, but it's not really because you can find black quartz ore in the wild pretty easily, and you can just smelt that up or pulverize it to get black quartz for the iron casing, and then we can go ahead and get the atomic reconstructor. I will need to make one of these real fast and actually use it here in a second, because I need some of the resources that I can get from it to make some auto placers and auto breakers. So let's take a look at the auto placer and breaker recipe. For the auto breaker, we'll need some void crystals. To get void crystals, we need to use the atomic reconstructor on coal. We will also need some of these basic coils, which means we will need to use the atomic reconstructor on some redstone. And then if we go back to the auto placer here, we need some of this palace, which is once again using the atomic reconstructor on lapis. So let's go ahead and set this bad boy down somewhere where we can use it, and I think down here will be a good spot for it. Let's go ahead and place it, let's say right here. It's probably gonna laser the stone here, but that's okay. So let's get, and it didn't do anything. Let's get a redstone torch so that we can control this thing. By hitting this with the redstone torch, I will change its redstone mode. Right now it is on deactivation mode. Now it is on pulse mode. Basically, anytime it gets a redstone pulse from this point out, it will laser whatever's in front of it. So let's go ahead and get a button, if I have a button, and then we'll put it right here, and then let's grab some coal. Let's grab some pal or some lapis, and then some redstone as well. And we'll probably need a little bit more redstone than the other stuff, so let's just grab 4 stacks of it for right now. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw all this stuff right in front of the laser. And I have a vacuumulator somewhere, don't I? And it just sucked up all of those items. So let's actually, I need to turn this thing, because this is not going to be a good location for it. And looks like I'm going to have to retrieve it from the vacuumulator setup I have. Okay, so where, it's right here. All of this stuff is right here. So let's grab all of this, as well as these water buckets. They would be better served to be in my applied energistic system. So let's make sure to move everything away from the vacuumulator this time. So let's try it right here. And is that on deactivation or pulse mode? It is. So let's throw our stuff down here, and hopefully it stays. Okay, so these recipes don't take a whole lot of energy, so it looks like everything is done. So let's go ahead and put all of this in the applied energistic system so that I can use it on my recipes. And then I can set up the recipes for the auto placer and auto breaker. So let's see here. Let's get the auto breaker. Let's get the coil first off, I guess. So there's the coil recipe. Let's grab a couple of those. And then we should be able to do the auto placer and then the auto breaker. So there we go with that. And before I forget, let's go ahead and craft some of these guys. For right now, let's just go ahead and do 10 of each. And that is not 10, that is 1. And then 10 of the atomic reconstructors as well. Now, if you've watched me in the past through some of my other series, I'm going to be setting up a very similar system to what I've done in the past. However, I am going to have a little twist on it, a little rail twist, I guess. So I will need some lint of the miners. What the lint of the miner does is it allows the atomic reconstructor to turn stone into ores. So we're going to be using that to create ores. So let's grab a lens first off. And this is going to be something we'll need several of. And by several, I mean 10, because the lens of the miner is created with a lens and then all of this stuff around it. So let's see here. We can place that there, and then let's grab 10 of these. I have built a new area for me to work today. It is actually not very far away. If I take out journey maps, it is right over here. It's built into the side of this mountain, I guess. So there is a bridge that I built to get over there, and that will be to build a system to actually transport the items from that area back to here. I'm not going to work on that today. I think that's probably a little more than I'll be able to get to today, so I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to worry about creating the items for today. So there are several other things I'm going to need. I'm going to need some cobblestone generators. So I'm going to be using the cobblestone generator from the mod NuclearCraft. So this produces 2 cobblestone per second continually. That should be enough for me for today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 10 of these guys. So let's see if I can't grab 10 of those. And then I'm also going to grab 10 redstone furnaces. And for the redstone furnaces, I think I should probably grab 10 conversion kits as well to speed them up. And let's see if the furnaces are done. They should be. There we go. And then the cobblestone generator should be shortly done. If they're not, there we go. Okay, so let's see here. We will also need some structural duct. And this will be to carry some redstone signals. So that's probably going to be more than enough, to be honest. So let's also grab some redstone relays. You might need more than that. I'm not really sure. So let's just grab a bunch of them. They're pretty cheap, so it's not really a big deal. I also want to grab some covers. So let's grab some stone covers. Let's grab some stone as well. Some Flex Duct. I have a list here of everything that I should need for the build. There's every chance in the world I missed something. But it's not really a big deal, as I've upgraded my wireless access point right here so that I can actually access my ME system from that other area that I'm going to be working on. So I can grab stuff if I need to from over there. So I need some item ducts and some servos. Let's grab a modular storage, and this will be to store the items. Like I said, today I won't actually be moving the items. So after a time, this system will actually get clogged up, but that's not really a big deal, as probably in the next episode I will build the system to actually transport the items. So there we go. Modular storage, tier 3. Let's grab some capacitors, and I'm going to be using capacitors from the mod Ender.io. The recipe for the vibrant capacitors that I'm using is this right here. And there's the recipe for the extra capacitors there. And I'm using these two so that I can easily monitor my energy usage over there, because I know that I have about 40,000 RF to play with, and by using this I can adjust my timing mechanism so that I can use about 40,000 RF per tick. So the next thing I'm going to be grabbing is some detector track, and this might kind of give away what I'm doing with the rails, but if it doesn't, then we'll get there in a little bit. So then I also need a minecart, and let's just grab 6. You know what? Let's just grab 1. I can grab more if I need later on, and then some powered track. I don't think that's what it's called. It's called booster track. So let's see here. Booster. Let's grab some booster track and then some regular track as well. And then I will need at least 1 redstone torch. So let's grab that. Let's actually grab a few. And then I think I have just about everything. So let's run on over there, and I am actually going to do this on camera just to show you my bridge I built. The bridge right here is rather neat in my opinion, I have Flex Duct underneath so that I have energy, so that I will have energy over at my new area. I feel like the bridge looks fairly good. Obviously on top of this are going to be some track, so that I can run a train of some sort back and forth. And this donkey's going to have a bad time if he stays up there and gets run over by a train at some point. But here is my area. I built it into the side of this mountain here. I feel like it looks alright. It doesn't look great, but it should serve its purpose. There is no basement in this building, which might complicate things a little bit. But for right now, it's not really a big deal. I'm going to leave this area right here open so that I can run my train in and out through here. So my area where I'm actually going to be building or creating these items, let's do that over here. So the first step of this is I need to figure out where my auto placers are going to be, because the auto placers actually need me to put items into them. So let's go ahead and put the auto placers over here. And I'll just put them in a line like this to make things just a little bit easier. And for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flex bore and we're going to do a little bit of mining, because I need the area underneath these to be open so that I can actually access it. And what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to put redstone furnaces down, and they will be up against the auto placers. And I probably should have grabbed a red print, but that's okay. I just need these redstone furnaces to be, I guess, output to the top, and I'm not really sure where I'm going to put my cobblestone generators. I actually think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them back behind so that I can run my flex duct underneath. That'll make things pretty easy. So what I can do with these cobblestone generators is I can put them back here. And if I set these redstone furnaces to be output on the top and input from the back, we should see cobblestone start to flow in to them from the cobblestone generators. So that is fantastic. Obviously they don't have power at this point, but we can fix that just a little bit later. So let's see here. Almost done. And then there we go. So that's all the redstone furnaces set up. Let's go ahead and run Flex Duct underneath, because I know that's where I'm going to run my Flex Duct here. And that is not the right location. And I don't actually have my Flex Duct underneath this floor at any point. It is right over here though. So if let's see here. If I dig down from here, and let's go ahead and set this to single block mode again, and then tunnel mode. If I dig down right from here 2 blocks and then tunnel over, I should run into that tunnel I just made on the other side. There we go. And then I should be able to run this flex duct just straight down here. And then I can just tunnel straight over and I can get to my redstone furnaces. So that is pretty fantastic. And thankfully this flex bore is very awesome and it tunnels very, very quickly. And I probably should have gone the other way here. Let's try this again. So that I can get out. I probably could have got out the other way, but that's okay. So now we should have power over here. These things are going. One thing I need to do really quick, and yep. Oh well, that doesn't really matter. I need to set all these to pulse mode. So as you can see with deactivation mode, they activate over time. I want to say it's a couple seconds. Every couple seconds it activates. But with pulse mode, obviously it needs a redstone signal to actually pulse. So that is cool. So let's see here. I have my flex duct run, so let's go ahead and let's get rid of some crap in my inventory just to clean it up just a little bit. And what I'm going to do real fast is let's clean this up very slightly. Let's grab a grass cover to make this look nice. And there we go with that. And then the next thing I want to do is let's grab let's put down the atomic reconstructors. And let's go ahead and put them, I think, right here. Is that facing the right way? It is. So I need to have this facing the blocks of stone here, and I have one of them that's not. I can fix that. But the rest of them look like they're good. So that's cool. I also need to heat these with a redstone torch to change them to pulse mode. And I also need to give them energy. So let's go ahead and put this guy back. He needs to be right there. And then okay, so you know what? Let's run this energy right here. I do need to run structural duct underneath to give these redstone signals. So that's kind of why I'm running it up here. There's no other good place to run the flex duct. So let's connect it up right here. And once again, let's take this out and let's give it some covers. Or a cover, rather, to make it look neat. And all these are on pulse mode, so that's good. The last thing I need to do here is I need to place down my auto breakers, and they need to be facing up. And that is probably means I need to get rid of all these, because this will work best if I place these from above. And once again, I need to switch all of these to DI, or pulse mode rather. So let's do that very quickly. Okay, the last thing I need to do here is I need to get them redstone signal. And I'm going to do that with the help of structural duct and redstone relays. So there's the structural duct. Can I actually... I'm going to need to hold shift, it looks like. And then we need to do the auto breakers as well. And then I also need to do the auto placers. I think what I'm going to do for the auto placers is let's get this to 1x2 mode. Oh shoot. Okay, so yeah, this will work fine. I was worried about my torches, but it looks like they're going to be okay. They are one above. So my structural duct will just be here for these guys. The redstone relays will be here. Okay, so now one thing I'm gonna go ahead and do off camera is I need to have all of this redstone signaling be on different channels. So the first thing to activate will be the auto placers. They will place down a block of stone, and we need to have this set to be output on the red channel. The next thing that'll happen is the atomic reconstructors will fire, and we need to have this output on a different channel. Let's use the green channel. And then the auto breakers need to be on yet another channel, so let's use the brown channel. So what I need to do is I need to set up all the relays for the auto placers to be output on the red channel, all of the relays for the atomic reconstructors to be output on the green channel, and then the relays for the auto breakers to be output on the brown channel. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera, and once I have that done, I will be right back. So all of the relays are now set up and configured correctly, so that once I connect them up and then get my redstone mechanism set, my timer mechanism set up, then this will be good to go. The next thing I want to do, though, is I actually want to set up my capacitor so that I can monitor the power usage. And what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and set that up, say, right here. I think will be a good place for it. Actually, let's do it like right here. And this won't be a very big capacitor, but it will be able to serve its purpose. So let's go ahead and set this up to be I/O on all of these screens here. And you know what? Let's actually change this. So let's have this be a meter over here, and then the I/O can be over there. And let's have this be metered. So what I'm going to do is let's drop down real fast. so that I can connect the Flex Duct up. So what we're going to do with the Flex Duct is we're actually going to, and actually I probably shouldn't have got rid of that one. Down here, let's set up this side to be input and this side to be output. And this is going to be a little bit complicated here. So let's, I want that to be disconnected. I want that to be disconnected. I want, actually I need to dig down here. I want this to be disconnected. And where'd my Flex Duct go? There it is. So this needs to be disconnected again, and then I should be able to connect that up. And this should mean that all the power is coming into the capacitor from the right side, and all the power is leaving from the left side. And therefore, everything over here is on the metered side so that I can see how much energy I'm using, which is the goal of this capacitor. So that is cool. Let's go ahead and block that up. And let's see here. So I think the next step in the process is let's go ahead and put down the item duct. And I just need the item duct to come off of the auto breaker, or the auto breakers rather. So let's go ahead and run this around like that so that I can actually put item duct right here. And we just need to have this set up all along here. And let's go ahead and set this up. Servos on all of these to extract the items, and we'll be setting these to be on all of the time. And let's see here, almost done. Whoops. And then I need these items to come to some common point. I think what I'm going to do is, for right now, I'm just going to put my modular storage unit right. I'm going to put it right here. This will probably be a temporary location, to be honest. So I just need to connect that up real fast with the item duct. And actually, I do want the screen side to be on top, like that. So let's go ahead and put in the tier 3 storage module. So once the auto breakers get items, the items should flow to the modular storage unit here. So the next thing is, let's go ahead and connect up the 2 structural duct strains that I have. And I can actually do that. I can actually use the item duct here. The item duct will also hold a redstone signal, so let's just do that. And then I need to set up my timing mechanism, which is going to be a minecart on a track running in a circle. So it's going to be a pretty simple system. Let's go ahead and see what I can do as far as setup. Let's set it up over here, because in the future I may extend this system out. So it'll be really easy if I just set it up over here. Let's set it up. And I think what I'm going to do is something like this, with detector track here, here, and here, and then let's complete the circle. I believe that if I have detector track here, okay, so it will trigger those. I don't think if I have torches here, though, it will trigger the detector track. I do need to test this, though, so let's go ahead and do that real fast. So actually, it'd be easier if I use this. And I dug one too far, so let's block that up so that I don't mess up where I put my redstone relay. So what I need to do now is I need to put down some structural duct here, here, and here. I need to put my relays to be here, here, and here. These need to be input. So let's have this thing going. Let's have it going counterclockwise here. So this will be the first one. This can be input on red, this can be input on green, and this can be input on brown, because that is the sequence that we need to fire these things. So let's put down the minecart. And before this touches any of the detector track, let's go ahead and make sure that these detector tracks are not firing, because I'm not sure those torches might actually, beside the booster track, might actually affect the detector track. So we can just run this straight over, I think, and should be able to, it should be firing something. Okay, so I need to get out of here. There we go. So something would be firing right now, but it's not, so that's good. That's good to see. Let's go ahead and connect the other structural duct up. So if I just do this and then that, everything should be all connected up. So if I send this minecart in motion, it should start the system. So let's do just that. Let's grab a crowbar. And let's see if this will work. Okay, so, oh, I know what's going on. I didn't place down my lens of the miner. So, what I need to do now is let's get rid of most of the stuff that we don't need. And that would be most of this stuff, to be honest. I should have probably kept the stone, and I think I just got rid of that. I also want to apply those conversion kits that I forgot to apply. I need to grab my lens of the miners right now. And these things don't stack, so that's why I didn't grab them earlier. It would have just taken up too much inventory space. What I need to do is I need to apply these to every single atomic reconstructor. And actually, let me demonstrate this system real fast. So let me grab some buttons, actually. And I can just grab some stone, because stone is what you make buttons out of. So let's grab 3 buttons. And let's place them here, here, and here. So first off, let's place a block. Let's not do that. Okay, so what's going to be happening is once these lasers fire, it will turn this into ore of some sort. And I didn't even know poor ore was something that I could get. But yeah, it looks like I can, which is kind of unfortunate because poor ore kind of stinks. But that's okay. And there we go. That's what's going to be happening. So, and after that, obviously, the auto breaker will break it. So let's go ahead and set this thing in motion again. And once again, it needs to be going counterclockwise. So there we go. And the system is rather loud. So let's back up so we can't hear it quite. So I could actually have set this up to draw a little bit more power. Like I said earlier, I have about 40,000 RF to play with. But this is going to be pretty nifty system. Let's go ahead and destroy that for right now. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and clean this area up off camera. And once I have that done, I will be right back. So I have everything all cleaned up, and there's one more thing I would like to do. I created these sound mufflers, and let's look at the recipe real fast. To quiet the system down a little bit, it is a note block with wool. And note blocks are just wood and redstone. So what I'm going to do with this these sound mufflers is I'm going to place them right over here. And hopefully this quiets things down a little bit. The atomic reconstructors are rather loud and annoying. So let's see if we can't make it a little bit quieter. And then let's set this thing back in motion. So that seems a little bit more bearable. I think this is a pretty good system. It looks like we're getting quite a bit of stuff. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to just go ahead and scrap the poor ores because they are really terrible. They just give you nuggets of iron or copper or whatever they are. So that's kind of useless. But otherwise, this system is a complete success. So in today's episode, I built this system which will automatically create lots and lots of ores for me. It looks cool, and it functions as intended. It's also drawing a little bit less power than I really could have built, so I can build this thing up to be a little bit bigger if I want to right now. But for right now, I'm going to call this good. So anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation like this in modded Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.